Okay, about space.
Okay.
Let's talk about space. So we kind of established that it might be helpful for an estuary to be associated with a local church, but then you say that every church should have an estuary. And my question is, every church can have an estuary? Want to speak to that?
Well, again, it's I am not going to say that if you have a vision for an estuary-like enterprise, that you should wait for a church to come along to be a compatible partner with you. Again, I think churches have a variety of skills that can be helpful, but there are a lot of and this came out quite clearly after the woodshed video. There are a lot of people out there who were raised in churches and have internalized a desire for church and even a guilt if they are not connected with a church, that have, for one reason or another, simply experienced repeated frustration in trying to satisfy that desire. And that, sure, some of that is on them. I'm not going to let them off scot-free, but some of that is on the church too. And every single pastor is an individual, loved by God, but broken and fallen, sons of Adam and daughters of Eve. And church, these kinds of things can get super complicated. And so I have a fair number of clergy who follow me in the US, Canada, UK, Australia, and they also often, I think part of the reason they were drawn to my channel is they've had similar frustrations to what I've had, but they might not have had a church situation which was quite as conducive and free as the one that I have been blessed with. And so I've spoken with some clergy who they would love nothing more than to do what I've done, but they know they can't because of their church. So it's for that reason that I value and would love, and when I talk to churches, I'd say, I think you should really look at this. This is something you should have. Can every estuary have a church? I don't know. You've sort of been doing this sort of on the side in the clubhouse at the park where you live. And now it's actually going to be right there
in the music room.
In the music room at Cross Point Church.
On campus.
Yeah. And I know others who have been, thinking about starting a group have had some frustration with their local churches because churches are a little bit hesitant. I mean, this isn't a Bible study. No, it's not a Bible study. And there's no authority here who's going to be, delivering the dogma to people to straighten them out. No, that's not what we're doing.
No proselytizing.
No. And so, but I'm really impressed that your church opened its doors to this. And I think you are exactly the right person to do this. And I think your church thinks that too. So. But many people, they want to maintain a relationship to the church for whatever reason. They want to maintain a narrative thread of faith in their life, and they're finding it exceedingly difficult. And churches are often not places where they can talk about these things. They are places where they do smile nice for the pastor, but then walk away with their own misgivings or angry moments or what have you. And in my opinion, an estuary group, the reason I think it's in the interest of churches to host groups like this, and if they have appropriate leaders for them, support them, is that the surest way to ensure someone's deconstruction is to show them that cold gray wall of the garden and say, here's the line, in or out.